Hello and welcome to Brother Earth Healing. So happy to be with you guys today. We will be reading for air signs and also just tapping into air energy in general, which we all contain in and around us. As we go into the month of August, a little bit of a forecast, just checking in. I was actually meaning to make these videos the technical first week of August, but I had some health stuff come up. So hopefully we'll get that rhythm in for next month. But yeah, thank you for joining. I'm an intuitive healer. I've been trained to do hands-on healing, energy work, and as well as been trained as a medium. And yeah, kind of also naturally kind of came upon that, as well as having a background in the Buddhist tradition with the Thich Nhat Hanh community. Was ordained as a monk in that tradition. As well. So coming from a number of different backgrounds and traditions to offer you channeled messages today. Just kind of have this general intention to offer guidance, offer healing, and just messages of support for y'all on this channel, on this platform. Feel free to catch me also on Instagram as well at just Brother Earth Healing. I am available for private sessions if you resonate with me and this work. And just to get right into it, I'm going to offer a little bit of energy and get us into the space. Just tapping into our breath and really getting settled. I'll offer a little bit of a prayer and then we'll get started. So feel free to just find a very relaxed position. And I'll invite you to just take some nice deep breaths, just coming back to the body, coming back to the breath. Let's give ourselves a moment to just put down whatever's keeping us distracted in the mind. Allowing ourselves to relax and rest into our breath, rest into this moment together. Taking another breath to ease whatever emotions, whatever is stirring us up in the heart space. Just allowing everything to settle for a moment. And give ourselves this time and space that we have together today to truly be present and open to accepting healing and accepting messages of love and guidance that are going to come through for us today. Beautiful. So we'll just remain in this space as much as we can, and I'll offer some prayers and gratitude. So today we'd like to offer big thanks and gratitude to our ancestors, both our blood ancestry as well as our spiritual heritage, whatever that means for us. I'd like to give thanks for paving the way and for offering so much to us, known and unknown, and for always, always being there for us to call upon. I'd like to ask for support in offering clear messages of guidance and healing for all of us tuning in, a little bit for me, if possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great, that feels so good. Great. Let's get started. I am so excited. I had like some really crazy health scare last week. I thought I was like having a freaking heart attack, to be honest with you. I thought it was like really, it was nuts. So just kind of going through a lot last week, and yeah, a lot of beautiful, beautiful stuff going on in my life also. Crazy. Feels very surreal. As I'm tapping into air energies, especially for our air signs, I'm hearing balance. So maybe we are finding balance is what I'm feeling for most of us, is finding balance. And that's not always the easiest thing, right? what I've been finding really beautiful and powerful is going into a space of like really being open to my experience, particularly when it involves suffering, right? When it involves like some personal suffering, right? And really like developing a relationship with that suffering in a way where we can honor it, not just as something that like brings us negativity, right, and pain, but also something that can teach us a great deal and honor it as a teacher, right? And I've been finding like so many beautiful things within that suffering, recognizing patterns in myself, and yeah, really breaking down a lot of those patterning, a lot of that patterning, and yeah. Okay. I feel like for many of us, yeah. So overall, right? Bottom of the deck, strength. What I'm really feeling is like, yeah, it's exactly what was just shared, what just came through is like, it's like really learning to like tame, right? And it takes a lot of strength to really like face our suffering and see it and sit with it, not just like brushing it away. I mean, it's good to not dwell, right? It's good to not to dwell in our suffering in a way that's not productive and that's really depleting and takes our energy away. But there's a clear difference when we can sit with it with the intention of being more gentle with it and being in turn more gentle with ourselves. Yeah, and in that way, right, like with this awareness of, oh, okay, like it's not just here to cause me pain, right? It really is like this emotional guidance system, right? It's guiding me to understand what I do want, what I don't want. And much further beyond that, beyond our preference, right? Kind of like what was coming through, what I was sharing is like, guiding us through, helping us navigate, right? Navigating through like, what are those things inside of us that have a tendency to cling on to the suffering or cling on to the patterns that, in turn allow us to like go deeper into the suffering without really coming out the other end with much to show for it, right? Without the wisdom that can come through. Okay. It was the first card that kind of just popped out of the deck. I'm going to leave this to the side for a moment. Ah, okay. Okay, very interesting. Okay, Seven of Wands. I don't always read this card like this, but I do feel like you're getting what you want. I feel like you're getting what you want, and it feels like this, right? It really does feel like the whole thing. It really does. In an interesting way, right? Maybe in a way you didn't think you'd get it, or how you imagined, right? That would feel like. Yeah, sensing that there's a real feeling of abundance, right? And I'm feeling like this theme of balance that came to me initially. Okay, here's some more cards. Wow. Okay. Let's sit with some of these here. Okay. A lot of these cards came up when I was reading for myself, which I am so proud of myself recently. I used to never really read for myself because for so long it was so hard for me to read for myself, and I don't, it's something I didn't really do, right? I channel and do actual channeling, and with a high teacher, and so a lot of that stuff just comes out for me through that, doing that kind of work anyway. But I did do a spread for myself recently, and a lot of these cards actually came out as well. So let's see what's coming out here. What wants to be shared here? Okay. Wow, a lot of love, man. I'm feeling like, wow, really a lot of love coming through from ancestors, from guides and teachers for you all. Yeah, really feeling like a lot of love. That's great. That's really juicy. And some of you might need that right now. And some of you also might just be feeling that yourself because, like when we're in this place where we really feel truly abundant and like, prayers, we're feeling like, wow, prayers are answered, like, whatever. It's like it's really magical and it's very connective because it touches a part of us that is very doubtful, right? Of, you know, it's very doubtful, and when we truly see like, wow, oh my God, this is real, like these things that I've been asking for, and they're here, I asked for them, and it's like, and in many times it comes it comes in such a way that it's like spirit, it's like ancestor, it's somebody, someone, some really beautiful, like it's like orchestrated, right? And that's what's I'm just it's just coming through. It's just really coming through right now. So um, I'm super happy for whoever I'm reading this for. I honestly kind of feel like I'm reading for myself in a way. A lot of really beautiful stuff uh, came up for me the past 2 weeks. So I feel like certainly there still is some element of like confusion is what comes up, actually. Confusion. And I think that there certainly could be some doubt and fear in there, right? Like almost like oh, too good to be true, or like, maybe what's come up is certainly in a way kind of an answer to your prayers, but in another way, it's very, in a way, very odd, maybe in certain aspects of that situation, right? Like, I didn't really see it being that way, or I didn't really picture it that way, right? And something that actually just came to me right before I started recording, when I was sitting, was like, just take a moment to like just step back from the way that maybe you have been very used to seeing your situation and things that are good that come into your life, right? There's always this but, right? If that resonates for you, then yeah, that's certainly for you. But I think we all do that, and I think a big message here is that's coming through, right? Is like, okay, is this element of like, first of all, just trust, like really deeply, like, okay, you've had an experience that has allowed you to open up a little bit more to trust, right? Trusting. And there's an invitation to go deeper into that, I feel. And also I feel another really big theme that's coming up is how do you want me to say this? Okay, don't judge too quickly. Yeah, just don't judge too quickly. And if you're feeling pressured to make some kind of decision, or some kind of like to classify something, or to, yeah, put something in a box with a label on it, just relax, just maybe take a step back again. I think that taking a step back is really important, so you can truly see like the fullness of the blessing of the, truly of the blessing, like really step back to see that, the fullness of it, and rest in that, rest in the fullness of the goodness, right? Of what you're experiencing, of what's come to you, right? What's being given, okay? I really truly feel that, like being given in a strong way. I think that you got that message loud and clear. So I'm going to move on. Wow, this is such an easy reading. I love when readings are easy. I don't have to like do too much. Just like kind of step out of the way and just let it come through. I feel like very interesting energy. Wow. I feel like for some, you're exiting some kind of suffering, right? Some kind of situation that has made you suffer is ending, coming to a close of some chapter, right? Not necessarily has to be a chapter, but some kind of suffering. You feel like there's some real clarity and like, those, and that's kind of dropped, right? And then at the same time, with whatever new development has been happening, right, that's occurred, there's a choice, right? Do I do things the way I have been doing them in the past, and that I have a pattern of doing a certain way that has led to that suffering for myself, right? Do I continue that pattern, or do we find a different way, right? A different way to relate, a different way to, yeah. And so there's this choice of like, and almost in a way, like a feeling of what I'm feeling is like, you're feeling like you don't want to make that decision for yourself. Like there's some fear behind that. Oh, I don't know. And I think the message is loud and clear. If what you're experiencing, if the way that you're relating to what you're experiencing feels the same as it has in the past, in such a way that, led to you experiencing whatever, suffering or sorrow you're coming out of right now, if you're seeing those same patterns and things like that, that's a clear sign of like, what we want to try to avoid and do differently. Okay. So again, I'm really feeling a very, very general message is like, and especially for our air signs and people that have a lot of air, or just situations where there's just like there's a lot of air energy, right? It tends to be like very much up in the head a lot of times. Tends to be, it can be very, hard to direct, right? Hard to guide yourself is what I'm feeling. Hard to guide yourself. By developing a deeper relationship with your emotions, in a way where you, again, this is the message for you this month, really. Tune into what you're feeling, okay? Even if that feels really hard, tune into what you're feeling. Even write it down, right? Just you don't have to come up with a story about what it is, about why you're experiencing that, this and that. Just write it down, whatever you need to do, right? Make a little note on your phone. Gosh, I have like hundreds of notes on my phone. These little things, and in that process, right, you can see, okay, like what are the situations when I feel like this? What are the situations when I feel like this? When I feel good, when I don't feel good, what is it that's triggering it? And then slowly we can go deeper into what the triggers are, and also the advice and the guidance that's coming through is also about not placing the blame on others for what we're feeling, even if others haven't maybe acted their best or have, seemingly contributed or just are the main cause of what we're experiencing in our suffering, right? Through their actions or words or whatever. Maybe like do a little experiment of taking a full amount of responsibility about how we're feeling, and kind of pick it apart a little bit and see, okay, like, what are the thoughts? What are the feelings that I grasped onto that hold me in that place, right? Instead of letting things pass through and the emotions pass through, how have I trained myself to follow the suffering instead of letting it go and coming back to a place internally that can act as a wellspring for my happiness and my stability and joy, love, for myself, right? Taking that real responsibility for our for the emotional body, right? Great. I'm sensing that some of you have a very, very hard time doing this and have maybe not done it before and don't have a solid foundation in meditation or anything like that, which is so crucial. Being able to get out of your head and be quiet internally, be like deep quiet is so important. It's necessary. It's absolutely necessary to doing this kind of internal work. And if you're interested in learning more about doing that, I have a lot of free resources and do a lot of private work with people teaching meditation and Qi Gong, which I've been doing for years, as well as do private readings and private guidance. And I've been doing a lot of, actually a lot of work with connecting people with their guides and things like that. And ancestral work as well, which I've been really loving doing. If you're interested at all and you feel like I might be able to help you, please feel free to reach out. That was really great. I'm gonna pull some more cards. Jeez, I feel like I could have just ended the reading there, frankly. It was really powerful and beautiful. Okay, hold on. I feel like some of you are coming out the gate. Okay. King of Cups, right? Interesting. I feel like what I'm picking up from this energy is less that you are a master of your emotions and more of maybe wanting to be, seeing yourself this way. Yeah, really seeing yourself that way, wanting to be that, right? Wanting to be that way, wanting to master your emotions. Okay. God, I just said that 10 times in different ways. And I feel like there's a tendency to actually be not seeking that internally as much as you should, and kind of looking outside of yourself for that emotional validation and things like that. Okay, interesting. I'm seeing a little boy. Maybe for some of you, I think that there's some inner child work to be done, or some real deep suffering, or maybe trauma from childhood. Yeah. And for others, I feel like just tapping into that boyhood within you is a really beautiful and healing thing for you to do. Just doing things that make you feel childlike, make you feel like, wow, that child is still very alive and wants to have fun, and wants to explore and truly live each day, in an active and beautiful and wholesome way, really wholesome, really pure, just the purity, right? The purity of that. Wow, beautiful. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's mainly it for most of you, is that reminder from your guides to be, to actively seek that purity of childhood, right? Of boyhood, of girlhood. That feels so good. That feels great. Yeah, just pure, just putting down, a lot of us smoke pot and, do little things like that, like drink a little bit or whatever, or a lot, and not just with substance, right? Like the way we act and speak, and there's something about purifying yourself, right? Like taking a break, saying, I'm okay. I want to be pure. I want to be just, truly take care of yourself as you would if you were a little boy, right? Or a little girl. And there's something so pure about that, and beautiful and alive and connected, to spirit about that. It's really, truly treating yourself like that, and see, and I think it also really speaks to having so much love for yourself, right? That self-love, right? Yeah. Before I started formally doing healing work, I would always caress myself. I would always be doing this. I would always be doing this kind of thing, wherever. And yeah, it's so interesting how such a very subtle, very subtle comforting is like, can be so loving and healing, right? It's like, I care about you, doing things that make us, that remind us how much we care about ourselves in this body, I'm feeling like that's such an important thing for a lot of us right now. Learning to self-care, and this is a way in which we can really find and nurture that that self-love and feed that wellspring of joy and happiness and fulfillment, really truly being fulfilled and happy here without anything, without a relationship, without even in a relationship, we can be so like, we leave our partner and we're like, what do I do? And so by developing these kinds of practices, and more so just ways of being and relating to ourselves, making them second nature, is so healing, Okay. I don't know what these are about. Let's get some clarifiers. It's really funny. I don't normally do clarifiers because it normally just comes, but I'm feeling like maybe a couple more cards would be good. So let's do that. We have the medicine wheel in reverse. And I think that there's something to be said too for like, yeah, feeling like everything is really going to plan. Yeah. Interesting. This card again. And this time I think it wants to come in this order. Okay. All right. Okay. What I'm feeling is that for some... Give it to me. Interesting. Huh. I'm having a hard time reading this. This is very, very interesting. Let me clear really quick. Give me some clarity here. Give me some clarity. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Okay. Balance. Balance. So the treasure, the teaching, the wisdom, right, coming from whatever situation this is, and it doesn't have to be any of the situations that we were just talking about. This could be, this is open here. It could be, it doesn't have to be. Okay, we're finding balance. Okay. And again, it's okay. Okay, so I'm feeling there might be some suffering coming. There might be some flatness. There might be some, something might be feeling flat, or might come later in the month is what I'm actually feeling, to feel a little bit flat, where actually it started off very, really great. I feel like someone might not have, I'm feeling some kind of relationship, so it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but feeling someone, yeah, is like really, yeah, quite focused in a certain area. It could be work or something like that. And maybe just doesn't have the capacity to like give the way you'd like them to, or something like that. And for some, it might come with, and this recognition or realization might come with a sense of feeling with a lot of confusion, right? Like, oh, well, things are really great, and then, oh, maybe not. Yeah, that kind of thing. Interesting. I'm feeling like, but that's not the end of the story, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, this is very interesting. I think what wants to come through too is like a good way to go through the situation is to not have judgments about what is happening, and to remain open to the possibilities, right? And be open to the possibility that you don't know, that it's unknown, right? And to be okay with that for now, okay? Yeah, I'm certainly feeling a lot of disappointment. I'm going to go a little bit deeper before we close out. I'm trying to make these videos a little bit shorter than we have been, because they've been quite long. Interesting. Seeing a lot of mirroring happening. Yeah, a lot of mirroring and just... Yeah, interesting. It's almost like through the mirroring, there's like a shared disappointment. For different reasons. At the end of the day, it'll be all right, is what I'm hearing. At the end of the day, it'll be all right. What does that mean? Let me pull fresh, because there's a lot going on here. Let me pull fresh with that sentiment in mind. At the end of the day, it'll all be okay. I'm feeling drawn to do that. Yeah, I'm feeling like a lot of ups. I'm feeling up and down. Situation goes up and down. Feels like the end. Huh. Really interesting. Okay, I got death reversed. Okay. Feels like maybe things won't work out. Okay, come on. Again, okay, I get it. Again, it's about finding balance. Okay. I feel like some general themes in this situation, if you resonate at all with this, are really coming to a place of learning to, for one, bring down. It's really beautiful how even the mirroring, even the stuff that feels unpleasant, and all of this, right, ultimately allows the two, is what I feel, is what I'm picking up on mostly, is the two in this, whatever relationship it is, it could be any kind of relationship, friend, romantic, whatever, is allowing the two to really find peace and grow from this experience, from this connection. Okay, on one side, it's more about, and I'm getting more of a masculine thing, more of a masculine. It doesn't have to be a man, but the energetic masculine energy is more about dropping the walls, and I'm feeling like putting obstacles in front of oneself, okay? And learning to allow some of that to relax, okay? And allow a little bit more of a cool, okay? So I'm getting like ginger. Well, this is the ginger from the Herbal Tarot, okay? For 7 of Wands, okay? So like really allowing yeah, just kind of taking a step to the side. Just go around for a second, right? Just explore a little bit, you know, past where you've put those barriers or those walls for yourself. And I certainly feel they're for self-protection, and that they're valid for sure, from whatever was in your past. Because the blessing, you know, this real beautiful happiness is right there, right? It's right beyond those walls that you've put up, and it is only these walls that you've put up that are keeping you from it, right? Okay. And on this other side, this other person, right? It's more about it's more about paving your own path in terms of the way that you relate to, I would definitely say romantic partners, or, you know, relationships in general as well. Okay. And really learning to stand tall on your own. I feel like it's all there. I feel like it's more about just stepping into that aspect of yourself that is like very solid and can manage both roles, okay, of individual personhood and solid, right, as well as the role of being in a partnership. Okay, so this is all really beautiful, and at the bottom of it, you know, beautiful, right? This kind of sailing away, calmer waters for both people, for both, right? Yeah, learning a lot of beautiful things. Yeah, so I feel like where maybe in the beginning or something like that, there's a lot of like this real icky weird stuff. It's like, I don't know, it feels weird, I don't know, whatever, you know, going past and going, you know, I feel like a lot of what was shared and came through in this reading was really also to help guide this situation as well. Yeah, just kind of like allowing what's happening to happen in a way, and being present with that, in a way that lets you kind of like extract the wisdom and extract the, yeah, whatever you need from it, right? Just whatever you need from it that's going to help you grow. And I certainly feel like that's happening and will happen and continue to happen. And keeping an open mind so we're not like suffering and dredging through it, right? Before we even understand fully or at all, right? Is really the key to helping us, you know, maybe be a little bit more graceful through this experience, okay? I'm gonna pull a couple more little cards really quick before we close. Really beautiful reading. Pull a little bit of some oracle cards really quick. Really quick. Any other advice from our guides, ancestors, angels, anything like that to support us? These wanted to come out. Okay, beautiful. And she wants to come out. Anyone else? Anything else to support us here? Last chance. There we go. Oh, buddy. Okay. Okay. If you don't have experience with meditation, please reach out and we will get you started on something. I have a lot of free resources as well, as if you want to work individually with me. But I feel this is super important, right? Oh, maybe you weren't able to see, it was a little close. Retreat and recharge, okay? Yeah, we need that quiet place. We really need to be able to access and aliven that place within us that, you know, allows us to come back and feel like it's safe here, right? And that we're taken care of, okay? and that we're taking care of ourselves. We absolutely need that, all of us, and we all deserve that, right? And that is a really beautiful thing to give ourselves, is growing into that, and giving us that gift, ourselves that gift, is really important. Really, really, really good. Self-love. Okay. Yeah, I feel like a lot of us just really have a hard time with like just kind of, like thinking that we know better and this and that, and that we have a perfect view of the situation without maybe asking others and asking for clarity, and just pass a lot of judgment on situations, on people, and what we're even experiencing, right, without being totally in touch with what we're experiencing. And that can be really harmful, really. It can cause a lot of suffering for us. So that's a big lesson, and that came through very clearly in this reading. Okay. And again, really see what has come into our lives that is very nourishing for us, and that's like, this blessing, these blessings that are coming into our lives. Like, truly count your blessings, right? Really see from a different perspective than just what we're missing, right? Shift that, stop thinking, what am I missing? What am I missing? And start practicing the pattern of what, of wow, how blessed am I, right? Okay. 2 more cards. And I do feel like a lot of us have been doing this work, some for a while. And yeah, to also like learn to see how we've also influenced, these flowers to bloom in our life, right? And these seeds that have grown into flowers. And how we've influenced that and supported that in our own lives, not just, blessings raining down out of nowhere, all the time, but how we've also done a lot of the work, right? And having that inspiration to say, wow, like that really did help me in my life. Let's keep doing that. Let's keep investing, right? And lastly, I feel strongly this is a guide for some, for one, maybe. Okay. Yeah, just supporting this remembrance of, who we are, who we really are. Yeah. Coming back and investigating where that light is in us. What is that light in us? What does that feel like to really be, to drop slowly the identity of that's created in the ego mind, right? Like the identity of whatever name we have, whatever person we think we are, right? And sitting, quietly and quieting ourselves enough to step back from that association so strongly, and then coming back to like, okay, what is it beyond that? What is it deeper? What am I? Deeper, who am I? To discover that light within, and really begin to associate more with that, and live, and through that a little bit more, right? Beautiful. Yeah. So I think we're going to close here. Beautiful reading. Beautiful, beautiful reading. Feel free to check out some of the other readings we've done for the past couple months. They've been really potent, and not just for those specific months. Really potent messages coming out for these times. A lot of COVID stuff and a lot of social justice guidance and channeled messages through those readings. I'm going to start labeling my videos a little bit differently so we can get more of general messages or general themes instead of just, beginning of the month, air signs, whatever. So I'm going to start doing that starting this video. And just a really big thank you to you guys for joining today, and for supporting. And if you guys would like to, you guys resonated, please, drop a like on the video to support. Feel free to share it with whoever you feel like this might resonate with or be good for. Feel free to, again, check out my Instagram. I post different kinds of things up on there. Subscribe to the channel if you would. And again, I'm available for private readings and different, all kinds of different things that I mentioned throughout the video. So feel free to reach out. Yeah, but until next time, many, many, many blessings to you. And yeah, have a very blessed month.